let's talk about the cold moon. The cold moon is the last of the supermoons of 2025. Shout out to the cold moon. Whenever I hear the cold moon, I think about the coldest winter ever. Anybody ever heard of that? The coldest winter ever? That book right there. Shout out to Sister Soldier. Maybe she might be watching this. If you are Sister Soldier, comment below real quick for me. All right. Now, this is the last supermoon of 2025. We've had two prior to this one. The trio, some way call it. We had one in October, November, and now we in December 2025, the last of the supermoons. And this one is the cold moon right here. All right. It's gonna peak on Thursday, December 4th, 2025, around 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now do the math to see when it's gonna be in what time that is in your time zone. This is like I said, the final full moon of 2025, or super moon rather. Okay. And a super moon, for those who don't know, is a moon that is closer in orbit to Earth than it normally is on average. So on average, the moon is around 238,855 miles away from Earth on average. Now, this super moon, the closeness of it will be around 222,000 miles, roughly, from the Earth. Okay, so it's about, let's say about 10, 14, between about 14K closer to the Earth, 14,000 miles roughly. Okay, I ain't got the exact numbers, but I know it's around there, around 14K. All right, 14,000 miles closer to the Earth. So now when it's closer, this moon is going to look bigger. All right. This moon is going to look fuller. It's going to look more illuminated, it's going to look more beautiful. I ain't going to lie. You know what I mean? Whenever we have these super moons, these moons be looking like nice. I'll be taking pictures. Who else be taking their pictures of the sky and the moon? I do. All right. So these moons are going to be closer. All right. So that's what makes the actual super moon. So this super moon, the cold moon, is supposed to be out here from December 4th. It's going to rise in the east around sunset on December 4th and remain visible through the night of the 4th or 5th December, depending on where you at. And also depending on the weather in your area. Now, if you got a lot of, light pollution, you got a lot of stuff going on in your environment, and you're probably not going to see it like someone who's out in the countryside or in the sticks or the woods somewhere. You know what I mean? So that does play a huge factor, especially if you're in a city, a huge city with all them lights. We have something that's called light pollution, which kind of dims your view of the sky. All right. Now, you may not have a telescope, which is okay, but binoculars might do you some justice. You know what I mean? And I know there's some TikTokers on here or some streamers on here who kind of stream the moon itself. So you can get a good look of the super moon, the cold moon that's coming up December 4th. So now this next part, I'm going to be talking about why this matters to some of us. Now, if it don't apply, let it fly, okay? Now, a lot of us, some of us, we kind of follow the moons because, we believe in moon magic, okay? I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just keep it real. And we use the moon to manifest, right? We use the moon energy to help us in our paths going forward. So supermoons are very special to those who follow the lunar cycle and do, some type of moon magic. I call it moon magic. So if it's wrong, okay, this is what I call it, moon magic, okay? And it invites you to kind of connect more with the cosmic energy, right? A reminder that the moon's dance with Earth changes over time, which is the same like our cycles here on Earth. Like things change over time, right? Sometimes the dance is fast, sometimes the dance is slow. You got that slow dance. Sometimes it's medium, depending on what's going on, right? The cold moon arrives when winter is approaching, right? Shout out to Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Winter is near. Winter is here. When that cold moon coming, it's letting you know, it's about to be brick outside, okay? Brick mean really cold. And I'm talking about in the northern hemisphere. United States of America. All right. Now, if you down south, sometimes you kind of, you might get that little breeze, but it ain't like up north where you in Michigan, Canada, and New York, Maine, and them, Alaska. You know what I mean? They break out there. The cold moon also signifies endings, right? Endings of seasons, rest, introspection, okay? Preparation, okay? Watching this supermoon is like witnessing a gentle cosmic exhale. Okay, we are now letting the old year close, right? Or the current year, right? All of the 2025 is closing. This is what the cold moon signifies. The cold moon, it sounds like a cold mood. The cold moon also signifies letting go of emotional burdens, okay? Letting go of those things that kind of held us emotionally. It could be relationships of any sorts. It could be, whatever the case may be, letting go of emotional burdens, whatever, however that resonate with you. Also means closing doors that you've been afraid to shut, right? A lot of us, or some of us, been wanting to kind of go and branch off and do other things and close other doors. And it's just been something that's been holding us back from going into that next step. We kind of see the threshold. Some of us might be in the threshold of change, but something's holding us back, and it could be fear, right? So this cold moon right here is helping you, those who work with the moon, okay, not push you, but help you transition through the threshold, okay, from letting go and closing doors that you were once afraid to close. Um, this cold moon, supermoon of 2025, the last one, is also about reclaiming energy you've abandoned. Okay. Maybe you've noticed that, I used to have this particular energy, and for some reason, or whatever the case may have been, I no longer got this energy, and you know what? I want it back. I want a piece of the old me back. You know what I mean? Yes, I've grown. Yes, I've transitioned. Yes, I've developed. But you know what? It's one of those pieces that I didn't want to leave behind. This is what the cold moon will help you with right here. Reclaiming energy that you've once abandoned. Okay. The cold moon also um, is perfect for calling for alignment, calling for peace, calling for guidance, calling for new direction, right? Some of us just kind of feel like, I'm just unbalanced in some ways, some sort, some fashion. I feel unbalanced, right? You ever felt like that, just unbalanced? Like you're just not all the way right, but you're not all the way, feeling bad either. But it's just like you're just a little unbalanced. Like you just need a little tweak, right? That call for alignment. Some of us may be more unaligned than others, but nevertheless, you're unaligned and you're looking for that alignment. Some of us is getting towards the end of the year, and we just like, you know what? I need peace. I'm trying to go into 2026 with some peace. Some of us may be, feeling lost. Whoever felt lost before? You know what I mean? I know I felt lost before. And you might just need to call on guidance, right? New direction. This is what the last supermoon, the cold moon, is about. It's also about reconnecting with your intuition, right? Maybe you fell off with trusting your gut, trusting your intuition because something happened and you're like, I don't know. You know what I mean? The cold moon is also good for and a perfect moment to reconnect with your purpose, with your higher knowing, right? Maybe you was in your purpose at one point in time, and then you were like, dang, I kind of fell off my purpose. I got sidetracked or distracted or whatever the case may be. Or you know what? I need to get onto my purpose. Maybe your purpose changed. This is a perfect time to work with the cold moon, right? Think of the cold moon as the universe quiet ceremony for the ending of 2025, right? Quiet ceremony, you know, and this ceremony is going to last for about a day or two, a night or two. You know what I mean? And this Cold moon is speaking to us and it's whispering, let it go. It's whispering, let it rest. It's whispering, let renewal reach you. So some of the questions I had when I was looking up and researching the cold moon, this final supermoon of 2025, was what are some rituals that are done with the moon for this cold moon? You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like, I wanna get a part of this energy right here, right? And I'm gonna name a few that I've researched, okay? And I've not have tried these, but I'm gonna try some of these, all right? And we're gonna go through it together. Fire release ceremony. The fire release ceremony is the cold moon is the moon of letting go. All right. People often write down habits, emotions, or memories that they're ready to release. Then they go ahead and burn the paper safely, okay, in a burning bowl. Okay. You don't know what a burn bowl is. You need to look it up and make sure you got the right thing. Don't be burning nothing in no Tupperware. Okay. Or they have a fire pit. Okay. And if you got to be doing a fire pit, make sure you're doing everything safely. Okay. So the flame symbolizes transformation, turning burdens into light. This purpose right here is intentional cleansing, closure, and energetic reset. The fire release ceremony. And you know what? It don't gotta be no special way. Like you should just rock with your intuition with this one right here. It could be on an index card. It could be on a piece of paper. You might got a couple pieces of paper. You might be a writer. Like I want to release a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? It don't got to be perfectly written, like you doing a college essay or something like that. You know what I mean? Just think about let your spirit talk. What's the things that I want to release going into the next season, right? What do I want to release? What's something that you know what? It ain't and I'm not aligned with this no more. Okay? Another ritual, I'm gonna talk about a couple of them, is the winter gratitude circle, right? And I kind of think about this like Thanksgiving, right? You ever go to Thanksgiving and your family hold hands and kind of say things that you're thankful for, right? Maybe at your church or wherever you go to, they talk about things they're thankful for. Like some gather indoors for the winter gratitude circles because it's cold outside in some parts of the world, right? So they gather inside, they light some candles, and they speak out loud for what they're grateful for this year, right? Especially the hard earned lessons. Anybody know about hard earned lessons? Put in the comments below. What kind of hard earned lessons have you earned this 2025? Let's get back to the winter gratitude circle. This ritual warms the spirit, right? And you know what? It does warm the spirit. I'm gonna just take a pause for the cause. You ever like holding hands, right? And you doing the gratitude circle joint, maybe for Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be. And people talking about, what they're thankful for. Kind of remind me of Testimony Tuesday back at the church. You know what I mean? Or testimony time when, I want to tell you how good God is. But, people are telling you how grateful they are. And it's just touching, right? To the point where you ever get like a little choked up, like, and you gotta not blink too many times, but blink just enough times so the tear don't come down. Or some of us just let it all out. You know what I mean? It does warm the spirit. It does deepen connections, right? It does honor the wisdom gained through challenges. I've done this plenty of times at dinner, outside of Thanksgiving or any holiday. Just, hey, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and I want you to say what you're grateful for. Matter of fact, I want to go deeper. I want you to look at one of your siblings and I want you to tell me or tell them something you're grateful about them, right? So I have my kids do this, when we have family dinners. So we talked about the fire release ceremony. We talked about the winter gratitude circle. Let's talk about moon bathing, okay? Moon bathing. Simply put, moon bathing is going outside and letting the moon just hit on top of you, okay? Now, you don't got to do this naked, okay? You don't got to do this with less clothes on because it's cold out there. You're going to catch a cold. You might catch ammonia, okay? So I'm not telling you go out there, let the moon hit you, and you don't need no clothes on. Nah, 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 nah. That's not what Greater Grand Rising is telling you, okay? Moon bathing is going outside and allowing the moon to hit you, okay? When I say hit you, you just letting the light touch you, okay? And you're looking into the moon, okay? On a clear night, people bundle up for these moon bathings. They bundle up. You got the scarf and the hat, okay? Your jacket, your gloves, your thick socks. If you don't got thick socks, double up, okay? And get your good warm shoes on, the warmest you got. Step outside and sit quietly under the moon. Quietly, okay? Don't be messing up nobody else's concentration or nothing like that. Leave your phones inside. Turn them on silent. You know, whatever the case may be. This is you and moon, okay? Somebody say you and moon. You and moon, okay? In the winter, moon bathing is less about body and more about mind. Let me say it again. In the winter, okay, the cold time, moon bathing is less about the body and it's more about the mind. Allowing the moonlight to calm the nervous system and rest the inner rhythm, okay? Excuse me, reset your inner rhythm. Reset your inner rhythm. The purpose of this is meditation, clarity, and stress release. Okay. The next one we're going to talk about is cleansing with smoke or incense safely. Cleansing with smoke or incense safely. All right. Because the cold moon marks the year's close, many perform spiritual cleansings using sage, Palo Santo. I just like saying it like that. Palo Santo. Anybody like saying it like that? Palo Santo, cedar, or incense. All right. Now, when I say many do these things, let your intuition guide you. I don't want you to go out and be buying a whole bunch of sage, Palo Santo, cedar, and incense. Like whatever your intuition tell you, right? And whatever your budget can afford, because spirit understand. At the end of the day, spirit understand. Like spirit understand what you're going through. If you don't got the money to be buying this stuff, don't buy it. Okay? Let me be clear. Okay? Spirit know where you at. Spirit meet you where you at. Okay? So let your spirit talk to spirit. You know what I mean. Okay? This intention, when we're using the sage, the Palo Santo, and the cedar and the incense, is to remove stagnant energy collected over the year. Right? As we went through the year, we then went through and passed by a whole bunch of people, circumstances, situation. And you know what? Some of that energy ain't all good energy that we come across. Some of it is stagnant energy, right? And this is used to remove and clear stagnant energy that's been collected over the year, right? To get you to move freely and not feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing nothing type of feeling when it comes into the new season. The purpose of this is energetic purification, okay? Preparing for new beginnings. The next one is candlelight reflection ritual. Light a candle of your choice, usually white, some say blue, right? And sit in silence and reflect on these three questions. Question one, what did I survive in 2025? What did I learn in 2025? And what do I want to feel differently in this new cycle coming up? I'm going to say those again. What did I survive in 2025? What did I learn in 2025? And what do I want to feel differently in this new cycle? Let the candle burn while journaling your answers. Some of you might have the 7-day candle, right? So I'm not telling you to sit there for 7 days and do journaling unless that's something your spirit guides you to, okay? The purpose of this is soul clarity, emotional alignment, okay? Release. Let's move to the next one. Winter altar building. A winter altar building. This is something new to me, okay? Altars for the cold moon often include pine, cedar, or winter berries, things that's associated with winter. Okay. Clear quartz or moonstone, candles, handwritten prayers, handwritten communication. Okay. A cup of warm tea or water. The altar becomes a space of quiet devotion and intentional grounding. Um, Now, I'm not telling you this is something you have to do or you should do. This is just something that some do during this final supermoon, during the cold moon. The purpose of this is to create a sacred space for peace, for spiritual focus, for connection. Let's go to the next one. Dream invocation ritual. Because nights are long and deep, many use the cold moon to set intentions for the dream world. You could do this by placing a journal beside your bed and say a simple invocation. Show me what my soul is ready to see. Show me what my soul is ready to see. Show me what my soul is ready to see. You can add something to it more than that. You know what I mean? You can take away whatever your intuition is led to say. Okay. The purpose of this is intuition strengthening, ancestral messages, and subconscious clarity. Right. And then lay down, get yourself together, and go to sleep and see what happens. Right. Um, I think we got like two more, three more. Another one is the year end energy reset bath. The year end energy reset bath. Where my bathers at who love them baths, right? Some people take a warm spiritual bath infused with Epsom salt, lavender, rosemary, eucalyptus, and other things like chamomile also. So let me just break it down real quick for you. Epsom salt is used for purification and tension release. It spiritually draws out heavy energy and resets the body field. Everything I'm telling you is on the esoteric level, okay? Lavender calms the mind and the heart. It's used for emotional healing, relaxation, and softening anxious thoughts. You got that anxiety, move to lavender. Rosemary is a protector and a cleanser, known for clearing mental fog and strengthening personal boundaries. Eucalyptus, it purifies the breathing, it purifies the air, purifies energy. It's excellent for clearing out emotional congestion and opening up intuition. Eucalyptus. Calamine. Hope I'm saying that right. Chamomile. Chamomile. Okay. It soothes the spirit. It invites peace, emotional warmth, and gentle sleep. You want to sleep good gently? Get that chamomile. Okay. Together, all of those, they create a ritual of deep surrender. Okay. I'm not talking about surrendering your soul to something that's bad or nothing like that, but surrender to peace, relaxation, and everything those things speak of and do. All right. The purpose of all of this is healing, an energetic detox. I'm going to talk about that too. Energetic detox. Like we detox our body, right? But do we detox our energy? Come on, somebody. Right? Nervous system reset. Okay. So that's another ritual that's done during the cold moon, this last supermoon of 2025. We got two more, ladies and gentlemen. A stillness walk, a short walk under the cold moon that connects your body to the world's winter rhythm. Each step releases tension. Each breath becomes a prayer. It's it is one of the simplest yet most sacred rituals of the season. So if you ain't trying to do no candles, no salt bath, no spiritual baths, and none of the other stuff that I talked about, just go ahead and take a walk under the moon. Okay? Just take a walk. Now, depending on where you live at, I don't know about walking, you know what I mean, far distances or whatever the case may be, because some of us or some of y'all live in areas where things happen on walks under the moon at night. So let your intuition guide you, okay? The purpose of the stillness walk is for grounding, presence, and body and soul alignment. Last but not least, we have the setting dormant intentions. Setting dormant intentions. Unlike loud resolutions, dormant intentions are whispered. They are planted quietly, like seeds beneath snow, meant to awaken when life warms up again. This ritual aligns with nature's rhythm, which is rest now, rise later. Let me talk real quick about dormant intentions, because dormant intentions require stillness because they work on a deep subconscious level. You don't need tools, loud music, or heavy rituals, okay? Um, these are things to choose from: a dim room, moonlight if possible, okay? A candle or a bowl of water, maybe both, and soft breathing, okay? The vibe should feel like winter itself: calm, silent, unforced. Ground your energy. Before speaking any intentions, you want to anchor yourself. You can place your hand on your heart. You can take 5 slow breaths, maybe 6, whatever your intuition tell you, and sit with your eyes closed for a moment and say softly, I am here. I'm ready to plant. This tells your nervous system to open rather than resist. It tells your soul to open rather than resist. It tells you to open rather than resist. Identify your quiet desire, okay? Dormant intentions are not resolutions. They're not deadlines. They're not demands. They're not I must statements. They're quiet soul truths that want to bloom naturally over time, right? Divine timing is the key when it comes to dormant intentions. So ask yourself, what seed am I ready to plant quietly? I'm not going to tell nobody about this. I'm going to go to my little quiet garden and plant my seed. I ain't going to tell nobody about this. What desire feels gentle but true? What longing doesn't need pressure, just permission? Examples would be, I want to trust myself more. I want peace to live inside me. I want healthier love, no more toxic love. I want clarity about my path. I want to return to spiritual alignment. These are not goals, these are energies, right? You want to whisper the intention. Dormant intentions are spoken softly, not loudly. Why? Because whispering activates the subconscious, not the ego. So say quietly, I plant the intention of peace beneath winter. Okay? I plant the intention of strength, courage beneath winter. Okay? Let it rest until it's ready to rise. I plant the intention of blank beneath winter. Let it rest until it's ready to rise. The whispering symbolizes your desire of being placed beneath the snow, which is used at times for protection. It's unseen but alive, right? Next, you want to seal it with a gesture. You can do any of these gestures right here. You can touch the water, dip your finger into the bowl of water and say, this seed sleeps in stillness. It will bloom when the season turns. Water represents intuition. Flow, it represents patience. You can touch the soil or a plant. Place your finger lightly into the potting soil or plant or leaf or something along those lines, okay? And say, the earth holds my intentions until it's time to arrive. The earth holds my intentions until it's time to arrive. This mirrors how seeds rest underground and they sprout up when they're supposed to. You can light a candle, and a small flame honors the intention's future awakening, saying, even in the darkness, my intention remembers the way. You go ahead and release the intention into rest. This is the most important part. You do not chase your intentions. You do not plan how it will happen. You do not force results. You do not force results. Dormant intentions grows because you stop pushing. You just simply trust. Somebody put trust in the comments, right? You trust the season. You trust the timing. You trust the unfolding. You trust the wisdom of your own spirit, right? And you say, I let this rest. I let it form without pressure. This surrender is what activates it. Do not revisit until spring, the spiritual spring, okay? The spiritual spring, all right? Matter of fact, let your intuition guide you to when spring is, and that's when you revisit your dormant intentions. Dormant intentions follow nature's cycles, okay? Nature's cycle. Planted in water, awakened in the spring, grown in summer, harvested in fall. Returning to it early weakens it, right? It's like planting something and then going to go mess with it, right? Bruh, why you over here messing with this? Sis, why you over here messing with me? That's what your intentions is saying. Let it grow in the dark, the same way seeds do, okay? The essence of a dormant intention is dormant intentions teach you to trust timing. What kind of timing? Divine timing. It teaches you to embrace rest. Sometimes we just gotta rest and let it go. Let it go. Release pressure, the pressure of deadlines and the pressure of this gotta be done at this point in time. Dormant intentions teach you to allow transformation. Allow transformation. Dormant intentions teach you to practice spiritual patience. They are a ritual for people who are ready to stop forcing life and start aligning with it. Okay, the dormant intention is a ritual for people who are ready to stop forcing life and start aligning with it. So, I know I said real quick, but I wanted to touch on dormant intentions because this was something new to me and I just wanted to share with y'all. So these are some of the rituals that are done during the supermoon. Okay, the supermoon, the cold moon, the last supermoon of 2025. So just a quick recap, we talked about the last supermoon of 2025, and it's called what? The cold moon, right? Reminded me of the coldest winter ever. You know, Sister Soldier, shout out to Sister Soldier. Why it matters, or what an actual what a supermoon is. Supermoon is a moon that's closer to Earth's orbit. It's a little bit bigger, right? It looks bigger because it's closer, right? And people use it for moon magic, right? Working with the moon, the energy of the moon, lunar cycles. This supermoon is called the cold moon, and we talked about the significance of it, right? It symbolizes winter is here, right? Shout out to the Game of Thrones. Winter is here. Winter is coming, right? Winter, right? The closing of the seasons. Well, 2025, right? It is symbolic of completion, closure, and transition. Okay. It reflects the natural cycle of letting something go, right? It reflects that something new can grow in the coming year, right? The supermoon amplifies emotion and intuition. It makes a perfect time for clarity, truth telling, and realignment. The cold moon, this last supermoon, is named for its deepening chill, longer nights, and its season of introspection. Okay. Culture saw this moon as a time to prepare spiritually for winter and emotionally for renewal. The cold moon carries the theme of rest, reflection, and restoration. and soul preparation. The supermoon appears brighter and bigger. I probably said that already, but I want to say it again. It's more intense, especially during the moon rises. Okay. The closeness of this moon makes emotional and spiritual work more potent, more stronger. The cold moon has several themes, such as releasing what no longer aligns, returning energy to oneself, preparing the heart for a new cycle, softening into rest instead of forcing productivity, listening to intuition rather than external noise. This moon is perfect. It's a perfect mirror for the question, what am I finally ready to lay down? We talked about the rituals that people do during the cold moon, the fire release ceremony, right? The candle reflection, the moon bath, right? Stillness walk under the moon, to name a few. Um, During this winter moon, you'll naturally feel an increase in emotional awareness. People often feel more reflective, sensitive, or intuitive. Um, this is a time uh, where you should just validate these feelings as normal and sacred, not as something to hide. Don't be ashamed when you start feeling more reflective, sensitive, and intuitive. Embrace those feelings. We talked about the dormant intentions and how to do that particular ritual. Okay, it's a powerful uh, release of trust and planting your seed of desire, right? And allowing it to bloom in divine timing. We talked about whispering, right? And not being loud with it. This is something that you want to keep to yourself. You want to whisper to it, plant it down there, and we don't want to come back to it until spring. Okay. Now, last but not least, this supermoon for 2025 sets the intention for 2026. The cold moon sets the intention for, or sets the tone for 2026. The cold moon is not about loud manifesting, right? I'm not putting up these boards and showing everybody on TikTok and YouTube and whatnot, and Instagram. I'm not telling everybody about this right here. This is not loud manifestation. This is gentle alignment, gentle aligning. Okay. We're preparing for new cycles of relationships, new cycles of healing, new cycles of creativity, new cycles of expansion. This moon is like a spiritual deep breath before the new chapter. Okay. I'm going to say it again. This cold moon is like a spiritual deep breath before the next chapter. Okay. What does a spiritual deep breath look like for you? Think about that. So as I'm ending this video, and thank you for rocking with me for this time, I want to ask you about 3 questions. Question 1, what are you releasing under this cold moon? All right, what are you releasing? What truths has been whispering to you lately? What truths or truth has been whispering to you lately? What energy are you carrying into the new year? And I want to throw this one in there with you. Like, what lessons or lesson has 2025 brought to your awareness that you learned from? That's sounding kind of crazy. Let me say it again. What lesson or lessons has 2025 brought to your awareness, and how did you learn from it? That was much better, right? These are the things I want to leave you with. If you got to the end of this video, comment below. I got to the end. Let me hear what you got to say. This was a long one. This was a long one. Just remember that the cold moon isn't the end of a story. It's just the turning of the page to a new chapter. Shout out to your boy, Greater Grand Rising. All right. leaving you in love, light, life, always. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.